Okay, well, money lick number one for this video. We're going to teach this pattern, the one that goes. Okay, but where we're going to start, where I'm going to teach it to you, is actually in about the squarest place we could possibly do it. You can do the lick here. This isn't where I would probably do the lick, but it's possible. But it's going to be a really easy place for you to learn the rhythm pattern and practice it. And then I'll go through and show you different places that you can apply this, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to put your right hand, and remember, we're focusing, this is all stuff for the right hand. Occasionally I'm going to be playing some things in my left hand to give you an idea of what it fits into context like, but this is a right hand video. I want you to find middle C, and I want you to form a full C chord, C, E, G, and then your pinky up here on C, okay? So stretching, I call this an octave chord, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to kind of play this chord in a staccato fashion, meaning da, bum, okay, bum. And then from there, you're going to flutter your way down in a reverse arpeggio. An arpeggio means that you take the chord and you play it one note at a time in succession, either up or down. So up would be like this, and down would be like this. See? So, but you're going to flutter it almost like it's in one motion, like this. Bum, ba-da-da-bum. Bum, ba-da-da-ba. See how that works? And that's how fast it really needs to be, is bump, ba-da-da, bump, ba-da-da, bump, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I would do to practice the pattern is actually try to practice it in succession like this. Bop bida-da-da, bop bida-da-da, bop bida-da-da, bop bida-da-da, bop bida-da-da, bop bida-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. See that? And get your hand used to it. Just get your hand used to going bida-da-da, bida-da-da. And then try to slowly increase the speed, so eventually you're going. Okay? I might add, Elton John uses this a lot. If you listen to Elton John vamp, he does a lot of these. Okay? Picked it up directly from him. So I don't know who he got it from, but it's irrelevant. I got it from him. Okay? So that's your practice, is ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-ba, ba-ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da. And however slow you need to do it, if you need to go. Of course, it's easier when you don't have your fourth finger like that, so when you're doing it, it'll look like this. And then the other thing that you can do to help actually create even a little more depth is practice. Put your fourth finger on A, and you're going to be playing a C6 chord, and you're using all 5 fingers. C, E, G, A, C. And flutter down all the way through the 5 notes like that. Bump, ba-da-da. And you may need to practice just going like that. But those kinds of arpeggiated things like that are very useful. So just practice that. Practice it both with just the 4 notes here and also with the A in there. Because some places that you can use this pattern will favor using 5 notes and some will favor using 4. And we'll look at some different options. Okay, and I'm going to trust you to have that done. Now, where can you use this besides this square place? Because this sounds like, you know, this sounds like where somebody would play this if it was... This sounds like somebody who came out of the practice room from doing, you know, Bach inventions or you know, like Mozart or Beethoven sonatas or something, and they want to try and play rock music and, oh, I'm very neat. You know, and I have a band director that I had in high school who would look at us when we do stuff like that, and he'd go, square, guys, really square. So, where can we go with this pattern that is not so square? Well, the first place you can look is a 7th, a dominant 7th. You can form it in any number of places. You could do it here, okay? You could go C, B flat, G, and E like that, and go 1. You might want to finger it like this with your 3rd finger on B flat, okay? Because you're used to doing that here, see? And that's a place you can do it. Let's see, any other inversion that you want to, you could do it here. So you could go E, C, B flat, and G. So, I mean, just in context, you know, we're playing along, we're doing something that's going... Okay. So we're playing along and it's time to fill. You know, so you could be here. Bump ba-da-dum, bump ba-da-dum, bump ba-da-dum, bump da-da-da-da-da. So that's a place you can do it. The other inversion would be to have yourself here on G, E, C, and B flat and be like so. Da-da-da. See? G, E, C, B flat. See, all you're doing is forming a dominant 7th chord and going to all the different inversions. It could be here, B flat, G, C, and or G, E, and C, like that. All we're doing is there's 4 different ways to play a dominant 7th chord. There's here, 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 and here, and we're using them all and just playing our bump da-da-da-da, bump da-da-da-da, bump da-da-da-da thing with it. Why are we using a dominant 7th chord? Because a dominant 7th chord is the first step away from square. Okay, dominant 7th, I've always said, is like the little rebel teenager of the chord family, because major's happy, minor's sad, diminished is like villainous, and augmented is creepy. where are the ghosts? Okay, and then you start adding sevenths on top of those, and you know, a major seventh is like the cheesiest thing ever. I mean, I love this chord, but it sounds like every Carpenter song ever recorded. And a dominant seventh is what rock and roll was founded on, you know? It was like, get me out of here, man! I want to go out and raise a little you-know-what. So, sorry. Hey, I know I sound like a total freak. Just remember, these are the ways that I learned how to understand chords. So, forgive me for being a freak. But this is what I know. This is how I learned it. But anyway, so we're going to take dominant seventh chords and apply them to this because it's the first step away from square. And you can do it in any octave that you want. So remember, you're going to be looking at C, B flat, G, and E like that. E, C, B flat, and G like that. G, E, C, and B flat like that. Or B flat, G, E, and C like that. Okay, so I would really start there. Before I got into anything more complex, I would definitely start first, learn the pattern on this square old and practice with your 5-note run as well. Then expand yourself out to different inversions of dominant sevenths. In the next section, I'm going to show you some things that are more complex than dominant sevenths, but that still retain that kind of bluesy edge. They build on dominant sevenths. So practice those first, get them under your fingers, start applying them, and then we're going to look at some really, really cool chords that you can do this with, and that'll come in the next segment. See you then.